Come on over, it's time for Tim Friend. Hey, welcome back to Tim Friend. We're still doing that mission with the insufferable douchebag Eagle, but we're gonna have to suffer him a little longer, because it looks like it's gonna turn into a fucking grindy attrition war, which is not as exciting for the viewers, I'm sure, but I like it. You know, that's honestly, I think I've talked about this in the Fire Emblem playthrough, but I'll mention it again. That in war games, I sort of tend towards a grindy, conservative attrition style of play. Oh god, that was nasty. Oh no, it's bad. Oh, it's bad. Okay, that's bile. That's bile in the back of my throat. Oh god. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's awful. Okay. What was I talking about? So I play this tabletop war game called War Machine. It's really fun. It's really well designed. It's got its problems because it's asymmetrical war game, and that's always going to have some balance issues. And it's not a computer game, so it's really hard to patch those out. And the only way they can really patch things is to release new units. And you just sort of try to hit the balance with that. But it's really fun, and the faction that I play the best is this really slow, grindy attrition faction that just sort of wins by having units that, just continuously having units that are better than everyone else's. It's really good at, buffing and synergy and stuff like that. I forgot about the bomber. It's gonna slow me down even further. Jesus. So, that's sort of how I like to play war games anyways, to just sort of grind them out until they're dead. And while that's really, it's fun for me, it's also boring to watch. That's okay. It doesn't have to be fun for you guys if I can fast forward through it. So hey, that's cool. I wanna. This is bad. God, healing that medium tank really is taking a lot of my money every turn. So I'm gonna keep building infantry units, and hopefully I'll be able to kill that. Oh god, he gets his fucking superpower. Shouldn't have killed that fighter. Shouldn't have killed that fucking fighter. Oh, this might be worth a fucking restart just to do it better now that I know. Now that I remember the shit that goes down with his bullshit. As he is screaming down the mountain as he comes with his fucking medium tank. But that's, he could have done more damage with that bomber if he really put his mind to it, but he didn't. And now he's got 3 medium tanks, and that's just a pain. So what we'll do is, we'll move up our mechanized infantry unit to there, start capturing that base. That's gonna be integral to victory. I've got a little pet peeve with people saying integral to victory, because that's not a word, or integral is not a word. Don't say that. It doesn't make any sense. Holding that base in these 4 cities and taking these 2 cities is going to be integral to victory, just because that's the way I'm gonna get fucking enough money to do it. So we're gonna have the mech capture that base, see what his bomber does. He attacks the APC, fine, that's great. Next turn I'm gonna use my CO power and buff everyone's health by 2. And then we'll start the slow process of, he's sort of fucking around with medium tanks, it looks like, and that's okay. He can fuck around as much as he wants. But it's just enough to get my anti-air back up to 6 health, which hopefully should be enough to kill the bomber. If it's not, that's okay, because I captured the most important piece of real estate here anyway. So, whatever. Hopefully it's enough. So every time you attack, it shows a percentage. Like that one said 43%. And that's how much percent of its maximum health you'll be taking away from it. So technically I took away 43% of its maximum health, but it had 5 health. You say the math doesn't make any sense, and that's true. It doesn't make any sense until you involve rounding. So instead of having 10 HP, try imagining everything as having 100 HP, and it just rounds up to the nearest number, or to the nearest 10. So if it has 41 HP left, it says 5, but it only has 41. So if you do 45% damage, you're killing it. Also, there is a slight bit of luck involved in that I think each attack has like a 5% plus or minus on the damage it can deal. It might be less than that. I haven't been super hardcore into Advance Wars in years, so I don't remember the exact maths for a lot of it. And it's not as open about it as Fire Emblem is. So I don't. So forgive me if I get the numbers wrong. Is what I'm saying. You'll have to, because where else are you gonna go for the fucking Advance Wars casual playthrough? I don't know if any others exist, but it sounds fun. So if you know of one, let me know. I'd love to watch it. By love to watch it, I mean I'd love to fucking kill them because they're competing with me. Oh, I'm a businessman. I'm super not. I honestly don't super care if I ever get any money from this channel. Obviously I'm not now. But it's almost like therapeutic in a way. Like, for reference to that, view Fire Emblem episodes 1 through all of them, where I talk about my feelings and anxieties and fears and how hard things are for me personally sometimes. So, like, it's really therapeutic for me to do Tim Friend, because I just sort of get to talk and play nice video games and vent my frustrations and show people why I like the games that I do, because sometimes I feel weird, like a weirdo, you know? There's not a lot of people play these games. They're not popular with the youth of today. Like Fire Emblem's somewhat popular with the youth of today just because Awakening is insanely popular, but that doesn't mean people watch fucking, or people play fucking Fire Emblem 7 for the Game Boy Advance. Like, the people who really liked Awakening and got into Fire Emblem for the first time through Fire Emblem Awakening, great, that's awesome, enjoy it. They probably won't play Fire Emblem 7, but that's okay, they can do whatever they want. But that's what I want to play, so I'm gonna do it, and that's what brings me joy. So yeah, like, Tim Friend is probably almost never gonna be like a let's play the popular game of today type channel. It's sort of just gonna be a little niche casual thing where we just sort of, we have some talk and we play some games from the past and games that I still like today, or games that I but have problems with, which is most games that I like anyway. So yeah, it's even though Advance Wars is not by any means super well known as a franchise, but it's fucking awesome. There's still, like, the core gameplay of it is always really fun, especially if you're a strategy dork like I am. Like, if you like the strategy part of Fire Emblem, Advance Wars, you'll probably like it. Give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm moving up my medium tank to engage his medium tank, even though, like, taking 2 damage on medium tank is no laughing matter, because they're just so expensive to repair. But I do that with the knowledge that he can't strike back with his second medium tank. If he could, that would be a huge fucking problem for me. It would just be a nightmare. So we're gonna stall here until we can get some more rockets and medium tanks of our own, just so that we can start pushing up through here. We might be able to do it earlier, depending on how bad his AI is. It's possible that it's bad enough that we can do it early, but I mean, I'm not gonna count on that. So we're gonna play it conservatively and see how it goes. If he keeps feeding me medium tanks one at a time, that would be great. But we can't count on his AI, because it seems like the AI in this advanced campaign has been erratic. So we'll see what happens. And his ability to move twice will throw the wrench in almost every plan that I make, which is obnoxious, certainly. But something that we'll have to deal with. Hopefully we can take the island just to the north of our current position and get these extra cities here. That would be really nice. If I move up this artillery and then move up this tank and then blow up, or not blow up, but put a huge dent in this mech, hopefully that won't put his CO power meter over the top. Let's look at it if we can. Yeah, CO. Yeah, he's getting close, but he's not quite there. So we want to sort of flood him with infantry here and take at least one of those cities if we can. So we'll move that infantry up, move this tank over, move our medium tank back, move this infantry up, move this mech here, move this infantry sort of up, move this anti-air back, because why? Ooh, from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could build a rocket, but we've got artillery. Let's build medium tanks, because even though having medium tanks fight medium tanks is an expensive proposition, it's one that we can afford it right now, and it's easier to repair a medium tank than it is to keep replacing regular tanks, and we don't have enough repair facilities to hold on that kind of attrition, so we're not even gonna fucking try for a bit. But we will sort of fight the AI on jacked up terms by manipulating its sort of order of operations and shooting the medium tank behind his little mech that he's not even firing with, so that we can capture these cities no problemos. This map is not a competitive map. It's, as you can see, like there's a lot of fucking choke points here. Like even this is a choke point. This bridge is a choke point. This is the longest choke point I've ever seen. Up to the HQ is a big ass choke point. This bridge is a choke point. This one's another fucking choke point. It's just choke points. And in Advance Wars, it's choke points they slow the game down. And like I've said, it's a faster game. So choke points are actually worse in Advance Wars than they are in Fire Emblem. Like in Fire Emblem, like in both games, they're obviously very strategic things to take and hold. But in Advance Wars, they slow the game down, whereas in Fire Emblem, they keep the game slow. You know, it's like they don't slow it down because Fire Emblem can already be played somewhat slowly, but Advance Wars, with things dying so often, hopefully in Fire Emblem things aren't dying very often. If you are, I'm sorry. Watch the Fire Emblem playthrough. Maybe get some tips. Maybe you can do that. But it's a faster game, so you don't want it to slow down, and you don't want it to come down to just who has the best long-range weaponry, because that sucks. It's going to be grit every time. And it's less strategy. It's more about just put your medium tanks in front and shoot over them with ranged units. And that's kind of boring. Whereas in Fire Emblem, it's sort of like which ranged unit, because you only have 2, or maybe you don't even have one there, and maybe if your frontline unit can't survive the attack, that's going to be a real bummer. Why did he make an anti-air? That's baffling. Look how many fucking medium tanks he has, though. Jesus. Well, we're gonna manipulate his AI and shoot over his fucking mechanized infantry until all those medium tanks are dead, because there's no way he can keep affording this level of output infinitely, I suppose. Eventually we'll catch up and attrition the shit out of him. That sounds really boring. We'll capture that city. How much? What's the intel? What's the intel? Does it show it here? No. Status? Status. So we've got 12 bases. He's got 9. So he's getting 9,000 gold every turn. We're getting 12,000. And he's got 20,000. So he can make a medium tank next turn, and probably the turn after that, if he tries his best. If he goes to school. So we're gonna make rockets. The rockets, we've got some insanely long-range firepower of our own instead of just leaving it to Grit and Olaf, actually. So we're gonna wait, because now he's got his fucking CO power, and he blows it. Haha. Okay. So it's a harder campaign here in Advanced Campaign, but the AI is not necessarily better, which is a shame. But it's also the Game Boy Advance, so can we expect a lot? Not really. Maybe expect more than that. But it's a puzzle game, like I've said, but it's also like it's a puzzle game. It's not a game where you're matching wits against something. You're essentially matching wits against a static thing. It's like playing playing pinball, essentially. Like it's not like it's designed to be frustrating, certainly, but it's not actively trying to defeat you while you're playing it, you know? It's like mastering an instrument, where you're playing it, but the tuba, like one of my favorite webcomics, it's called Wondermark, and it's like, well, why do I get called like a crappy musician if I only hit fucking 50% of the right notes? Like, at baseball games, batters are incredible if they have like a .5 hit rate or whatever, and the guy's like, well, yeah, but the tuba's not fucking fighting you. Like, you're playing through an inanimate object. It's not like the tuba is trying to prevent you from playing as well as you can. And that's sort of like what Advance Wars is. It's like it's not actively, it's trying to prevent you from winning, I guess, but it's not thinking. It's just sort of going through motions. Like it's got its own little algorithms running, and it doesn't have creativity, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like it's never going to, it's going to try to sort of adapt to you, but there's only so much it can do, and it won't see things that a human opponent would. And that's kind of a bummer. I mean, I guess we won't really ever have that until we have true AI, and that sort of limits strategy games. But that's why I like Advance Wars, because you can play it multiplayer. In Fire Emblem, you can play multiplayer, but it sucks. It's really boring. Until Fates, hopefully it's cool when Fates comes out, because they have a new multiplayer mode and it looks rad. I would love to straight up fight against other people's Fire Emblem teams. That sounds really cool. Instead of in that fucking boring ass gladiator arena, whatever it was, thing. Let's see. We'll have a rocket sniperoonie that medium tank, and we'll crush through his lines here, and I'll actually show that to you next time on TimFriend. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, but you probably have. So, you know what? Make your own choices. I ain't gonna tell you what to do. But you should subscribe to my channel, because it's the best one on the internet. TimFriend.